Hello, it's ElizabethCobb.com. I'm here with Mr. Christopher and his divine ladies. We're
at the water cooler.
At the water cooler today.
Today we're going to talk about relationships and building relationships, and we're going to share stories about our families with our viewers. Tina, now you were silly last week because you weren't here, so we couldn't tape the show. Where were you at with your family?
I was in Florida, in Orlando, Florida, and I have some cute little pictures to show you.
Oh, look at them. Oh my
I have to tell you,
gosh.
my oldest granddaughter wanted to look at my son's baby book. So we were going through it, and she saw where his baby teeth were taped into the baby book. And she asked me, Mama, why did the tooth fairy give you Daddy's teeth back? So I had to think quick, and I said, because Mama has connections. Mama's one-on-one. We're close, me and the tooth fairy. Later on, she came up and she goes, Mama, how do you get in contact with the tooth fairy? Through Facebook? I said, yes, I have her on my Facebook account. Tell me what about you.
Well, this is a great story. My son went to a different Sunday school a few weeks ago, and the lady was telling the lesson, and she held up a picture of Jesus, and she goes, "Who is this?" And my son says, "You mean you don't know who Jesus is?"
That's a great one.
You got a good story for us?
I got a good story. My oldest grandson is 3.5, and he talks a lot. Imagine that. I don't know where he gets that from.
I have no clue.
I don't know.
No.
Well, for Christmas, for some strange reason, he got a lot of bubble bath. Well, my son and my daughter-in-law went out and spent a lot of money, got a brand new bedroom suit, new comforter, and everything. So, Austin spilled bubbles all over. The furniture, the comforter, you name it. It was all over the bedroom. So, I asked him, how did the bubbles get on Mommy and Daddy's furniture and comforter? He said, a worm came in the house, and a worm went in the bathroom, and he drank my bubbles. And then he walked and crawled in my Mommy and Daddy's bedroom, and he spit the bubbles up on the dresser and on the comforter. I go, are you sure it was a worm? He goes, oh yeah, Meemaw, it was a worm. It was not me. And the bad thing was, they didn't find out until they went to bed that night when they got in there. Yeah. So needless to say, he has an imagination.
There you go.
I sure
Very
do.
good.
So now, Susan, could you please share with us a couple... This week you research online about the mortgage industry, and our viewers know that you're a mortgage originator. Do you have any tips for this week that's been going on with the news?
Mainly they're just focusing on the tax credit because they only have to April 30th to get the contract signed. It has to be closed by June 30th. That's more about the mortgage news. And rates are going to go up by the end of the year approximately 0.5 point. That's the two key things this week.
Also, I want to talk to you about Twitter, because you're becoming...
Twitter. I love Twitter.
Now, did you love Twitter before you met Elizabeth Cobb?
No, didn't know it, didn't understand it.
So what has been happening? You're tweeting, and I want people to go tell people where to find you on Twitter. Twitter.com/
No, Mortgage by Susan.
Susan. Yeah. And you want them to @reply you, right? Because you like to
communicate. And I want them to follow me.
Exactly.
And I want them to look at my motivational quotes.
So you love Twitter now.
I love Twitter.
She's a Twitter.
Mr. Christopher, you're the title man. So do you have any advice about the title? You want to build relationships with other mortgage companies in the tri-state region?
Absolutely. All about building relationships and networking and having fun. That's what I'm all about.
You want people to connect with you on LinkedIn because you're the LinkedIn guru.
I want to connect on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, wherever. But yes, LinkedIn is definitely my platform.
Thank you. And Tina, you're going to write a blog piece this weekend. I'm going to
have to help me. I'm what do I want to say? Stupid when it comes to all this stuff.
No,
I
you're not.
Understand it. So.
Yes, but this is the key. You're a perfect example because you're very knowledgeable. You're an entrepreneur. You've been in sales and for 30 years. And so I don't want people to have that mindset. I want them to contact Elizabeth Cobb because that's my skill, writing. So this weekend we're going to take the information out of your head and we're going to... What's your blog? Because it will be posted on your blog.
I was just going to talk maybe about my trip to Florida or about my granddaughters again.
And building relationships.
And I want everybody to follow me too.
Okay.
Not just Susan, but follow me too.
So what we're going to do, you're building on LinkedIn and Twitter, and that'll be all on your blog. And so the key is this. You want to direct them to your blog about your relationships and your family trip to Florida.
Correct.
Well, thank you, Mr. Christopher and his divine ladies at the water cooler. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you next week.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Bye.